Kayla, and today I want to talk about the invisible power of color. Now, I know this sounds counterintuitive. How can color be invisible? But stay with me. I first want to start by asking a question some might deem controversial, and that is, what color is each subject? So I'll take a couple of answers.
Science is green.
Okay.
Math is blue.
Yeah. Oh, blue? Oh, okay. Let's move on.
History's yellow.
Ooh, okay. Let's do another, one final one.
I think math is red.
Yes, what a great way to end that. So these strong reactions and connections to color it shows us how we already have a relationship with color. We probably don't even recognize it. Like, I don't even remember why, like I said, math is red. It just always has been. And that's what I want to talk about today. Our reactions and connections is what I've called color's invisible power. The power to evoke emotion, associations, and relationships beyond their simple wavelength. So, I have a little activity for all of us. As you can see, I have a little note card. And everyone here has used Canvas for our grades, our grade books. At least I hope we all have. I want you guys, one last connection. If you can think about a connection and nothing comes to your brain, one that everyone here in these seats have is to orange and blue, the Florida Gators. Sorry. So what does the Canvas logo look like? That is our activity for today, and I want you guys to draw it on your note cards. This should be easy, right? We use Canvas every single day, multiple times a day. Now, no cheating, no looking at your phones, but feel free to share with the people around you. Okay, guys, I'm seeing a lot of confused stares and not a lot of Right. So, if you guys are confused, that's totally normal. This is actually a pretty hard task for me to ask you. But before I show you what it looks like, I want to explain what's going on. I'm sure some of you were thinking, I know it's red and white, but I can't remember the symbol. That's totally normal. It's because our brains recognize and remember color more than symbol, text, or images. And don't worry, these are a couple of my friends who did theirs. So, to talk about more of the science, I want to start with the color wheel. I'm sure everyone's seen it before. We have our warm tones such as red, orange, and yellow, and then our cool tones with green, blue, and purple. But I want to dig a little bit deeper. The bright tones of red and yellow actually trigger action and movement in our body. Like, for example, we'll see a couple examples later. How about green? Green is associated with peace and calm feelings. And the world's favorite color, blue, is associated with feelings of stability and trustworthiness. And finally, moving towards purple and pink, those are more energetic and fun colors. Now, our brain can actually see 16 million different configurations of Roy G. Biv. But I'll be talking about these 6 today. Each of these colors give a different emotion and a different reaction. And harnessing those reactions is key to unlocking color's invisible power. To talk more about our brains, color is simply a different wavelengths of light detected by the cones in our eyes and sent to our brain via the optic nerve. Different wavelengths of light can actually trigger and stimulate different parts of the brain. This results in not only an emotional reaction, but a physical one as well. I'll give some more examples of that later. Our brains are also wired to function based on seeing patterns and symbols. And the same goes for color. A quick example of this is actually on our phones. I'm sorry for the Android users out there, but have you ever noticed that the messaging, calling, and FaceTiming apps are all green? Or have we already subconsciously grouped them together based on their color and function? Now, there are countless numbers of examples I could go through today, but with my last couple of minutes, I want to talk about physical reactions. Now, this might not seem that clear now, but let me explain. There are several studies that show across the world that when you enter a room painted in warmer tones, your heart rate will slightly increase and you feel a little bit warmer. And when you enter a room painted with cooler tones, you'll feel a little bit colder. And actually, when you enter a room that's colder and you do work in a room that's painted with blues or greens, as you can see here on the right, you can actually focus more and cognitive thinking is engaged. Additionally, when you enter a room and do work in a room that's warm tone and surrounded with warm lights, creative and imaginative thinking is engaged. And my second example I want to talk about is the physical reaction of appetites. Now, like I said earlier, bright colors such as red and yellow trigger action, but it also triggers the hunger response in our bodies. So this mechanism has been utilized by several different fast food companies because it's so effective. So the next time you're walking by Chick-fil-A at the hub, think if you're actually hungry or is it your brain responding to this response? Now, this doesn't just go for fast food restaurants. Several different brands across any type of media uses this mechanism to further their different informations and missions. And you can see the different ones here, like Spotify, Xbox, very trustworthy. So these are like fun and simple, more interesting examples. But to tie off this presentation, I want to connect this in a more professional sense. About 7% of our first impressions are based on what we actually say. The other 93% are based on our body language, cues, and image. And all the colors we wear influence a certain reaction connected to our image. Now we can use this to our advantage by wearing cooler tones, such as blues and purple and greens, to make you seem more reliable and trustworthy. Or you can wear a pop of purple or red to exude confidence. Now the visible power of color is so impactful because not a lot of people recognize it. But now, all of you do. Recognize it, use it, and integrate it into your life, and see how such a simple, almost invisible thing can change the way you see the world. Now to end this presentation, I want to give you guys something. If you want, you can take a picture of this, and then ask your friends what color they associate you with. And then you can see what they actually think about you. So overall, color is very impactful, and I hope you guys can recognize it in your daily life. Thank you FLC for this opportunity, and thanks for listening to my TED Talk.